you are watching Stormbringer TV. My name is Siegfried, and tonight with me a very special guest, a legend among legends, world-renowned recording artist, a man who needs no introduction. He is Moongoose McQueen.
Yeah, Moongoose McQueen died 10 years ago, man.
Oh yes, I think he did, and yeah, for people who know him, he is also Chris Jericho, former.
Chris Jericho. Yeah.
You're only Chris Jericho anymore.
Let's get so tendency.
Former WWE Undisputed Champion who beat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night. And now he is also the voice of FOZZY. Chris, thank you very much for taking the time to do the interview with us.
Man, no problem.
Tonight you didn't wrestle in the ring, but you challenged the audience in Vienna with your show. How was it for you? Did you like it?
Yeah, we've never been here before, and it was an amazing show. We were really excited with the reaction of the crowd. They were very energetic, and a lot of chanting and screaming and FOZZY cheers and clapping along. It was a really great show, and anytime you can go to not just a city but a country for the first time and have such a great reaction, it just makes you realize what took us so long to get here, and we can't wait to come back very soon.
Well, that's some awesome news. I really enjoyed the show. It was really, really great. You get your new album out. Sin and Bones was released August 14th. A pretty diverse album, I have to say. You have a lot of different style elements on there. There's some classic rock from the 80s, like the fast rock songs like She's My Addiction. But you also have more intricate, drawn-out compositions like Storm the Beach. Are you looking for this diversity particularly, or did it just happen in the songwriting?
It just happens. It's the way we've kind of always been. I mean, we have a lot of different influences and a lot of different styles that we enjoy, but it's always a FOZZY song. And our biggest motto or mission for this record was to do what we do best, which is very heavy riffs and very melodic choruses, a lot of harmonies in the vocals, and a real groove, a lot of space in the songs. And whether you take a song like She's My Addiction, and I wanted a song that strippers could dance to, like a Rolling Stones Buck Cherry type of a vibe, dirty Guns N' Roses. We also love Iron Maiden and Halloween and Rush with the longer songs. But I think, you know, that there is those sides of the coin. But most of the time the songs are your 4 or 5 minute Sandpaper, Spider in My Mouth, Dark Passenger, Shine Forever, those type of songs that are heavy but very melodic. And I think that's what we do best and what a lot of bands don't really do. So we really focused in on that on Sin and Bones, and to a certain extent our last record, Chasing the Grail, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially like the dual guitar harmonies, they were very reminiscent of Iron Maiden and Accept as well, I'd say, a little bit.
Well, I mean, yeah, totally. But I mean, it's kind of coming back when you look, you know, we love Iron Maiden, we love Metallica and Scorpions and Halloween and bands like that. But we also love, you know, Avenged Sevenfold and Bullet for My Valentine and In Flames, who also have that element. But I think the difference for us is we're very influenced by bands from the 70s, like Journey and Kiss, Foreigner, Styx, you know, even Pink Floyd and Queen and the Beatles, you know, late 60s bands, because of the harmonies and the melodies they had in the vocals. Back at that time, everybody that was on stage had a microphone in front of them. Everybody was singing, and it would be 3-part harmonies or 4-part harmonies. And that kind of got lost in the 90s when Nirvana and Guns N' Roses kind of became huge. There was still a lot of background vocals, but it was more kind of shouting, gang vocals. And we wanted to kind of bring that 70s melodic vibe in with still the super heavy riffs that Rich Ward is famous for. And we really did carve a space out for ourselves in the metal rock and roll community, which is why I think the band has grown so much over the last 3 years and continues to grow, because we do something that's a little bit different.
Absolutely, especially like, as you said, those live vocal harmonies that you did on stage, that were really impressive to me, because not so many bands can pull it off anymore. Just thinking back to bands like Sabotage, who were really great at this kind of thing. Yeah. But nowadays, we often have it like pumped in all over the backing tracks and stuff like that. So you guys doing it yourselves, that's really impressive.
You know, and you do have, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of bands use tracks to kind of sweeten it a bit, but if you took those tracks out, you would still have 3-part harmonies on the vocals and 4-part at certain times as well. So that's one thing we appreciate sometimes when we warm up before the show and we do Spider in My Mouth, and Rich and Billy and Paul and I are singing it together. It's like you feel like it's the Beatles in 1962 in Hamburg or something. So, yeah, like I said, I really feel that, and I enjoy that about our band. I like to listen to everybody sing, because we have great singers in the band and great players, as most bands do at this level. But that gives us a little bit of an extra vibe and it's something a little bit different, like I said, and you have to be different. And we love all the bands that we talked about earlier, and they're all great bands, but for us, that's our one little piece that makes us say, oh, that's FOZZY. Okay, there's a little bit of a change from, like Soil and FOZZY is a great package. They're two bands that both have the same groove, but two different styles of vocals, which is good for the fans. They get to see two different styles of bands,
Absolutely. Now, obviously, with your background in professional wrestling, you've always had like the blood of the entertainer in you, basically. So did you feel it like that this helped you when you started with FOZZY? I mean, it was over 10 years ago that you started the band.
Well, yeah, it's actually kind of funny though, because most of my wrestling character came from rock and roll, because I started playing in bands way before I started wrestling. I've been playing in bands since I was 12 years old. And when I started wrestling at 19, I wanted to be the Paul Stanley of wrestling, like the ultimate frontman that's like the party host, And that's kind of what I always tried to do. And then when I became really popular in wrestling as Y2J, a lot of that stuff was just old Paul Stanley, David Lee Roth, Bruce Dickinson type riffs to the audience. So then when we started FOZZY, I took the same thing that I was doing with Y2J that I took from rock and roll anyway. So it's very reciprocal. And it's all about entertaining. When you have a live audience, whether it's wrestling or singing or dancing or acting or whatever, you have to connect with the audience and make sure they have a great time and make sure they're involved. So it's not just wrestling that helped me become a good frontman. It's studying the great frontmen in rock and roll to become my own frontman as well. So it's been something that's been ongoing for the better part of 30 years now.
For you to become the Ayatollah of rock and roll.
Right.
Now, it is not uncommon for wrestlers to branch out into different genres as well, like music for you. There's also movies. Some break out more successfully, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Others are Hulk Hogan. And you've also done like different kind of things, TV shows like Dancing with the Stars. And this year, I think you've been hosting the Metal Hammer Golden Gods Awards in London, was it?
I did that in London, yeah. I've been doing it in LA, the American version, for 4 years in a row. And then I did it in London this year for the first time. Okay,
so what's that kind of an experience for you? Was this something special for you to be like among the peers?
Yeah, and of course. I mean, and that you just said the right word. I mean, that's the best thing about doing what we do is that you start out as a fan, and then you become almost an apprentice. You're following, and then you become peers with these guys, and then you become friends with them. And Golden Gods, it's like summer camp. You see everybody that you know, and that you can't possibly say hi to everybody because you know everyone that's there. And it's like, here's Lemmy, here's Slash, here's Mike Inez, here's Lars Ulrich, and here's Nikki Sixx, and then here's Zach Wilde, and over here is Dino Cazares. And it's like every year, it's like, oh, Alice Cooper, he's like my Golden Gods friend. I don't see him anywhere or talk to him ever except for at the Golden Gods. And it's like, hey. So I mean, there's a certain camaraderie there because heavy metal, as popular as it is still an underground. It's still always kind of the rebel, the renegade form of music. And when you get together with other diehard fans and other guys that have been doing it for years and years and years, there is a real sense of brotherhood there, and it's a blast. So to be hosting that, it's great because I get a chance to hang out with my friends. I get a chance to meet some new people. I get a chance to watch some great bands from the very side of the stage, and it's great for our band too. We played there a couple years ago, and it's the same as you said. A lot of people have never heard the band. When you have Alice Cooper and Vinnie Paul, and a lot of people go, man, your band kicks ass. It's just good to know that we're in the mix with those people as well.
Okay, that's really great to hear. Now, this tour is quite a long one. I think that you're on with Soil right now. Will it roll into summer festivals next year? Have you anything planned yet, or is this still open in the air?
The only thing that we have booked right now is Bloodstock in August, which is in the UK, and it's a great position for us. It's the highest slot we've ever had at a festival on the main stage. And I mean, our biggest goal is we want to really start breaking into Europe. We've done Germany a few years in a row now. Austria for the first time. Tomorrow Switzerland again, and Netherlands, and just keep building up these territories because we want to do Wacken and Summer Breeze and Grasspop and all these other great festivals. But it takes time for us to build our name up. And in the UK, we've done it. Sonosphere, we're booked. Oh, yeah. Download, we're booked. Bloodstock, we're booked. So we have to do the same thing here, and that's why we're enjoyed the show tonight. It really kind of takes us to a next level here in Austria, and then we want to come back again, maybe in 6 months, and hit the same place again. And then when more and more people see what we do, because we're a big stage band, we're a festival band. We're here to make sure that people have a great time, bob their head, bang their head, clap, cheer, yell, scream, chant. And I think that's why we've done so well in the UK at the festivals. So when we get our chance in Europe, we'll do the same thing here. We just have to keep building up our fan base, and when we get our chance, we'll be ready.
Well, that sounds awesome. So, permit me one last question. Has Chris Jericho ever taken vocal lessons?
Yes, in 2005, after we did the All That Remains record, I went and took vocal lessons from this unbelievable singer. His name was Jimmy Rogers in Tampa, Florida. Taught me a lot of stuff about control. And then once I kind of learned a little bit of that, then Rich Ward took lessons from an amazing coach called Jan Smith, who I think now she's like Justin Bieber's full-time vocal coach. Like she's like the top of the top. And he has a lot of tricks that he's taught me that she taught him. So that really helped as well. So and plus with all the touring that we've done, I think that my voice now is stronger than it's ever been, because I really know how to control it, know what my range is, where I feel most comfortable, where's a push, where's, you know what I mean? So it just comes from experience, like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it, and also knowing how to treat my vocal cords and treat my throat properly. Be careful with drinking and talking loud and yelling and screaming and staying out all night. So I enjoy a couple drinks after the show, but when it's time to go to sleep, it's time to go to sleep. And so you learn all those little tricks to become. I have to be responsible.
Yeah.
The singer has to be responsible, unfortunately.
Kind of know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, one last message for the fans in Austria.
I don't know. Thank you so much for an amazing show tonight in Vienna, and it took us too long to get here, and we're going to come back very, very soon, and we can't wait to see everybody again. And it was a fucking great show, and we're so excited right now, aren't we, Frank? Aren't we excited?
We're very excited.
See, I'm glad you didn't leave me hanging. So Austria, Dankeschön, and we'll see you very soon.
All right, that was Chris Jericho from FOZZY. Check out stormbringer.at, because we are the best in the world at what we do. And check out FOZZY new album Sin and Bones, because it will rock your world like it will never, ever be the same.
Again.
Thank you. Thanks.
Cheers.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
dude.
much.
That was fun. Thanks, man.